Okay, this is a lesson for the radio play assignment for digital music. A few other techniques that will be important in your sound editing post-recording or during recording. So the first thing I want to talk about is if you're getting any sound effects from that BBC sound effects library, this one that I've included in the assignment, all of the files you download will be .wav files. Those ones can't be brought into Soundtrap. So before you can use those, this footsteps on the wood floor, we need to convert it from a WAV file to an MP3. So in the assignment, I've also included a link to this website, Zamzar, and you follow these steps here. So you add the file, you'll go to your browser. So this is your file browser. So this is why you need to organize these things and label them clearly so you know which one you want. So footsteps, wood floor. It'll convert to MP3. Sometimes you can choose different things too, but what we need for Soundtrap is MP3. And then when you hit convert now, it'll do the converting and then you'll be able to download it. Once it's converted to an MP3, then you'll be able to drag and drop it. So the wave won't go away. Did I do the right one? Am I a liar? It didn't work a moment ago.
They are not a cure-all.
Okay, so maybe sometimes the WAV files work, but if they don't, convert them to MP3, and the MP3s definitely work. So that's one thing, converting WAV to MP3. The link is included in your assignment. Another technique I want to show you is called a crossfade. So if we're looking at this opening here, this is our theme music. This is me starting the commercial, and this is the fireplace background. So right now I have it fading in as the story switches to Dr. Watson's office. So let's say I take out the commercial here, and I'm going to have the story starting much earlier. So when the theme music is fading out, we'll start our story of Dr. Watson. So what I want to happen is for the fireplace to fade in as the theme music is fading out. So these points, I wonder if I can just delete them, or I'll just sort of put them back at their same level. So what happens is these are going from high volume to low volume. And I'm going to add some points over here, and they will move from low volume to high volume. And this part here of this fading out, as it overlaps with the fireplace sounds fading in, that is called a crossfade. So let's hear how that sounds.
Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, starring Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce.
And now, here we are, seated once more in Dr. Watson's study. The good doctor is wandering aimlessly about the room, tidying objects on his desk, straightening a row of books.
Okay, so this fades out slowly. I think I'm going to bring it back up a little bit so we hear it right to the end. Okay, good. So that's a crossfade. So one thing is fading out and it overlaps with the next sound fading in. Good for changing scenes, like if it's a gradual change. Another thing I want to show you is the pan effect. So panning is when your recorded sound is heard in the left speaker or the right speaker, particularly if you're listening on headphones. This is really effective. So I'm just going to move to a space where it's kind of out of the way. And I'm going to use, I downloaded a jet engine sound to show you. So I'm going to drag and drop this into my sound effects one. Okay, so this is a jet engine. We're in this track, and I'm going to add an automation of pan, so going from left to right. So now this is my, this one's volume, and this one's pan. So I add points, just like when you edit the volume, except now when I raise them, so up here this will be all the way in the right speaker, and down at the bottom will be all the way in the left speaker. I think I'll keep it in the left for a little bit before we go back to the right. So if I listen to this on headphones, it probably won't translate over the video. but it's like the sound that you're hearing of the jet engine will start in your right headphone and then gradually move over to the left, stay in the left for a while, and then gradually come back. So if you have anything like that where you want the sound to go around the listener's head, that's where you can get that. Or if you want it to be like somebody's coming in from a certain direction, say a character enters the stage, you might pan the whole thing all the way over to the right or the left if you want them to just hear it in one side, if you want them to feel like they're part of the story. So that's panning. And then the last thing is some effects that you can put on the microphones or on your sound effects. So if you, I'm going to go back to the narrator. So this is the introduction. When we recorded it, if I click on here, I can see all the microphone settings. So I'm going to click on the microphone. And these are kind of the initial settings. This is pan as well. So this would be, I think, all the way to the left or all the way to the right. If you want to pretend that, say, one character is on the left side of the stage, you could pan their settings all the way to the left. And you want the other character on the right side, you could pan their settings, all the way to the other side. So it's like the characters are talking on either side of the listener. When it's just one narrator, we definitely want them in the middle. So in the center, and I turned down the reverb entirely so that it was a really clear recording. If I want them to sound like they're in a big concert hall, I'm going to turn the reverb up significantly. So let's listen, let's have a control. So with no reverb, this is what it sounds like.
We are seated once more in Dr. Watson's study. The good doctor is wandering aimlessly about the room, tidying objects on his desk, straightening a row of books.
Okay, now if I add reverb, I'll turn this back up, and we'll start it when it's less of the background sound. I'm going to mute the fireplace for now, so we can just hear this. So with reverb on.
Well, Dr. Watson, you certainly have a passion for law and order.
So that sounds like it's in a bigger room, and you can adjust that to any setting you want. You can experiment with that. And then if we go, so I clicked on the microphone again. These are the basic ones, and if you click on effects, you get a lot more of the fancy ones. So these equalizers and compressors, you'll need to do some research. I forget what a lot of those are about, but they're not really ones that you guys will notice at this point. One that I did find helpful was, where did it go? It was a delay. The delay was really cool. Wah-wah is kind of neat. Chorus, I think, let's see what chorus does. It might make it sound like there's more than one of me. Let's try that. Like,
desk, straightening a row of books. Well done.
And I'm going to turn the reverb back down so we can actually hear what's happening.
Dr. Watson, you certainly have a passion for law and order. A place for everything, and everything in its place.
It definitely changed the way my voice sounded. So that was the chorus. I'm going to get rid of that and look for the delay. Is it stereo delay, or is there a different one? I think just stereo delay. Okay, so stereo delay. And I've got this is the how much it's delayed. And let's turn the reverb up a little bit. Okay. And now when we play.
I always say, I do hate a mess. Holmes, on the contrary, was one of the untidiest men that ever drove a fellow lodger to desperation.
So that might be something you want if somebody's in an echoing hall or at the top of a cliff or in a deep, deep cave. That might be a effect you want to add onto your vocal recording afterwards. Those are some basics for now. Please email me or join office hours for any other questions you have. Good luck.